In a world where being a hero is a job, given human nature, there will come corruption, and the ideals of what heroes should be will be very easily misconstrued and split between others. With this, anti-heroes will rise to oppose the fake posers pretending to be heroes in order to keep true peace. Such is the lifestyle of both of these characters today, Stain from My Hero Academia and Garou from One Punch Man. Now, if this were a normal fight, I do not think I need to be the one to tell you that Garou is absolutely destroying Stain with close to no difficulty. However, if you are new to the channel, there is a series where I look at versus matchups through a different lens, where the strength, speed and durability are all made equal. So it's down to the abilities, intellect, skill and stamina of the two opponents in order to see who would win if it were a level playing field. So that's all we're doing today. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more Equalized stats videos, then make sure to like and subscribe. I should disclose I'm covering Garou in his human state, so no Monster Garou or Cosmic Fear Garou, as those are far too broken to be considered for this debate. So let's get on with it. Isozumi Akaguro, I'm sure I completely pronounced that correctly, better known as Stain, is a trained, ruthless killer. He is an expert in acrobatics, hand-to-hand combat, and usage of weapons as well, making him very deadly, possessing his katanas, daggers, throwing knives, toe-spiked boots, and folding knives. All of these weapons are obviously very good at cutting and piercing, which is the sole purpose of those weapons, and is to play into Stain's main ability, Blood Curdle. Blood Curdle is a quirk which allows Stain to paralyse people in place so long as he can get a lick of their blood, making them basically a sitting duck until they're swiftly killed. However, of course, there are different blood types which can affect Stain's quirk. Those of blood type B take the longest amount of time to recover from the paralysis, and then decreasing from type A, B, A and O being the shortest amount of time. Regardless, the maximum amount of time anyone can be paralysed for is up to 8 minutes. Now, I have searched everywhere for what Garou's blood type is, and there's just no data on that, so it's a bit hard to use in this versus matchup, but I'll get onto that later on in the video. Stain also has fear inducement, being able to make people who are stronger than him, such as Endeavour, just paralysed with fear. He's also fairly smart, displaying the ability to form strategies mid-fight, and has also been able to beat heroes who have years of experience. However, one of the most incredible things about Stain is his sheer willpower and endurance. You see, he was able to have his ribs shattered after being beat up by both Deku and Ida, and yet was still mobile enough to save Deku from an oncoming attack from a Nomu, as if he were completely fine, which is pretty good in an equal stats fight. As for Garou, he has a fair bit to go over by comparison to Stain. Firstly, despite only being 18 years of age, he is a fighting genius, being able to adapt to and analyse his opponent's fighting styles with such accuracy that he can even replicate it himself and memorise it. Throughout observation, he's also capable of learning countermeasures to other people's fighting styles, and is capable of outsmarting people who have much more experience than him. As for abilities, Garou is a master martial artist of the water stream rock smashing fist style. He's a complete fighting prodigy, and he's so skilled he can only replicate his opponent's moves, but can reflect the power of the attacker's blows back onto them with even greater power. He's a skilled acrobat, being able to adapt to almost every fighting style. He has reactive evolution, gets stronger every time he fights, as if he's a Saiyan. He also has the ability to create air pressure, capable of cutting his opponents and surroundings from a distance using Whirlwind Iron Cutting Fist, which is also he also has advanced healing as well, being able to recover from grave injuries faster than a normal person regularly would be able to. He's also incredibly skilled at striking pressure points for a human body, being able to disable his opponent's movements in just a couple hits with superhuman level accuracy. He also has analytical prediction, statistics amplification, and can get stronger with rage. If he didn't already sound like a Saiyan already, the water stream rocking smashing fist fighting style also grabs some instinctive reaction, allowing his body to move on instinct without having to think, which just also further allows him to plan mid-fight. He also has fear inducement, enhanced senses, after image creation, and resistance to electricity. Much like Stain, he also has insane pain tolerance and supernatural willpower, as after getting beat up by Watchdog Man, being cut and suffering blood loss, and being poisoned, he can not only solo a team of A-class heroes, but then go on to fight the likes of Genos and Bang, two of the strongest heroes within the respective verse. He also has many different fighting techniques, such as the original Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist and the Whirlwind Iron Cutting Fist, which allows him to manipulate the air around him to create air attacks. He also has several fighting styles he has copied from others, such as the Tag Top Tackle and Tag Top Blow, which he copied from the hero Tag Top Master. He's also copied the fighting style of Watchdog Man, allowing him to fight on all fours, focusing on acrobatics and fast hits. As for weaknesses, he often withholds from using the Water Stream Rocking Smash Fist, that's a mouthful, until he absolutely needs to, as it reminds him of Bang, who he has a grudge against, though the weakness may not apply, as he was, at least after the fight with Tag Top Master, as he showed constantly using it on after that. He is prone to prolonging his fights to get stronger and typically letting his enemies get serious, which tends for him to underestimate his opponents once they are quote-unquote defeated. Due to his fighting style being designed for humans, as well as the fact that Bang did not teach him to fight against non-humanoid opponents, he would have that disadvantage against such foes until he can learn to adapt to them. So, how do they compare? Well, both of them have their own advantages. Garou has many more abilities than Stain, however, is not really applicable mid-fight, but has still got a more versatile moveset nonetheless. Due to Garou not having weapons, Stain would of course automatically have better weaponry, and also has more experience than Garou. Stain's fear reducement should also be greater than Garou's, as Garou has only ever been able to affect people who are on the same level as him, if not weaker. Meanwhile, Stain can actively make people stronger than him afraid of him by comparison. Garou meanwhile showed better levels of intelligence and is of course more versatile than Stain. He can create air attacks that allows him to attack from a distance, and with his ability to mimic fighting styles and change fighting styles, he can definitely put Stain on the back foot and catch him off guard. Not to mention that Garou will just get stronger after the fight too, but won't really affect much during the fight, and it will only really come into effect if the fight lasts forever. While Stain has a massive amount of pain tolerance and willpower, Garou also outclasses him in this regard too. So, who wins? Well, it's a bit complicated. Stain has the easiest way to win due to the nature of his fighting styles of blades. Even if he can't stab Garou hard enough to to kill him in one hit, licking his blood would allow him to further have him be stuck in place and just get hit once more. Added on to his fear reducement, and you could very well argue that he just manages to hit Garou once and win that way. Especially considering his ability to rebound damage doesn't really work with stabbing by comparison to punching or physical blows. However, that fear reducement that could help Stain also could seal his fate, and in my opinion, if Garou's arrogant and not expecting anything from Stain, I don't doubt that Stain would just hit Garou and then paralyse him. Even if Garou's great pain tolerance and willpower, it doesn't really matter since he would be paralysed in place and would just be killed. However, with the fear inducement, it can make Garou feel as though he'd have to try in order to survive. Even if you give him the weakness of not wanting to use the Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist fighting style, the fear inducement would make him feel as though he has to do it in order to win. Not to mention, his instinctive reaction could help save him from different attacks, also with his ability to create after images too. He also has much easier ways of attacking Stain from far away with his air attacks. The only way Stain can win from afar is if he uses knives. However, those are very limited, and Garou has also dealt with all kinds of opponents like that in the past. Added on to his great intelligence levels and the ability to copy Stain's fighting style and change fighting styles while on guard, Garou is going to be very hard to hit for Stain. At the end of the day, it is very hard to call. Stain does have an easier way to win, however Garou does have a lot more things going for him and can also help himself avoid Stain's attacks, which I don't think anyone's doubting that if it comes to a pure hand-to-hand fight, Garou is whipping Stain's ass, but with Stain's greater experience, it doesn't even matter considering Garou's greater intellect and having fought people with much more experience than him in the past, so if I'm going with my gut here, I'm saying that Garou is more likely to win, but considering Stain only really needs one hit and then a lick of blood to win, I think it's quite easy for Stain to win, and I'm not too confident in my opinion that Garou's likely to win a one-shot Stain. It's definitely a 50-50. It could go either way, so let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.